G'day all. Welcome back to Long Live Rock with me, Lad from the Woods, where we bring new classic rock from the old bands and new classic rock from the young bands. Well, today we're going back to 2006 to The Who's first real album since 1982 called Endless Wire. This is the first track off the album. It's called Fragments. At the time, it was controversial because there was really just Roger and Pete on the album, and they used Pete played some of the instruments, and then they brought in Pino for a song, and then they brought Zach and Pino in for one song. So there's actually a song called Black Widow Eyes. It's really kind of the closest things to the the more recent Who. But no, as I've listened to the album over the years, it's grown. It has grown. It has wore well. And when you hear the newer album back in 2019, you see that there's actually a progression. And I'm looking forward. I think he's been writing new songs, and there's probably another Who album coming in a tour, depending on how the world shakes out. Anyways, like I said, this one's called Fragments. It's got a Baba O'Reilly Won't Get Fooled Again I say that one, with the keyboard starting off and ringling. So anyways, better you listen to it than me trying to describe it, right? There you go. All right, let's go. Let's rock.
Like broken glass, we damage even in defeat. We are tiny pieces, falling now and settling, like snowflake crystals building on the city street. Snowflakes falling, snowflakes falling. Snowflakes falling. Are we the parts? Are we the whole? Are we the thoughts? Are we the soul? The parts of me, this is true. The parts of me belong to you. Are we breathing out, breathing in? Are we leaving life?
You probably see me a lot better timing my air drumming to The Who, because The Who is like my number one band since mid-1960s, when I was a very young person. Like the first one of the first, it wasn't the first 45 I ever got. That was the Beach Boys Surfing USA. But the next one was The Who's My Generation. So anyways, so I know like every drum part, like the bottom of my head from Keith Moon to the newer stuff with Zach, and of course Kenny Jones back in the 80s. So I'm really quite obsessed with the band, to be honest with you. But anyways, yeah, there's lots in there. I mean, Pete's guitar, throwing those big chords out everywhere and filling it in. And Roger actually recorded that with a cold. He had a slight throat cold or whatever, and he was suffering. It turned out at one point, I think he ended up in the hospital, because they'd gone on tour, and they showed up to Ottawa, and I was at the Ottawa concert, and you could see that they weren't firing on all cylinders. It was a great concert, but we went to Toronto afterwards when they were all feeling better, and that was a much, much better concert. But Roger ended up in the hospital. Then he had to go for a throat operation, which actually solved his problems. That's why his voice sounds so good today. They figured out what was going on, and they were able to solve it. So lucky for us and lucky for Roger. But I mean, if you listen carefully with Pete's guitar in there, I mean, that is traditional 100% Pete Townsend, big chords, little fills and flourishes everywhere. The bass line, of course, he wrote that. I don't know if he played the bass on this one or Pino, but like I say, it's not the original Who, it's the new Who. And it still sounds like The Who to me. So I'm hoping it sounds like The Who to you, for you fans out there. Anyways, hopefully there's a new album coming out from The Who in 2022. I know Pete's been recording, but it's been very quiet. I guess he just produced an album from a new young band called The Wild Things, which we'll be doing a review. And we'll see how that is. He actually plays guitar on it, so we definitely have to do a review on that. And and maybe... if we're not all locked down by next summer, maybe we'll get a Who tour at some point. Anyways, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Always appreciate the comments, guys and gals and everybody. Just put her in there. I love it. So I can answer when I get time. And then if you like what you're seeing and everything, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to help out my channels or anything, and me, there's a place to donate down in the description link, and there's more information at the end of the video. All right, well, thanks for coming again. So everybody be good out there. If you can't be good at being bad. And peace, long life, and live long and prosper. Peace and far out, and long live rock. That sounds like Vince McMahon, don't it?